Hey guys, Eric Zubik here. Yet another edition of your Goofs, of course. We got the two-parter conclusion. And like I said before last week. So yeah, this week's story, a new friend for Thomas. Yeah, pretty wise choice to edit there, but okay. Let's get to it right about now. Yo.
Trevor, the traction engine, enjoyed living in the Vickery, Georgia.
But something's up about it, though. There was a tree moving on the top left, and I know that's not the wind, and I know Harold the helicopter is not nearby. Sorry, I couldn't hear that enough. Oh, and here's another goof. Trevor doesn't have any eyebrows.
Edward came to see him every day, but sometimes Trevor didn't have enough work to do. I do like to keep busy all the time, he sighed one day. And I do like company, especially...
Wait a minute. I think we see wonky eyes. Eyes on Trevor.
Children's company.
Now, I should mark a goof because I know some of y'all saw the George Carlin version, and there's a bunch of long pauses, so I'll cut it here. So you know what? I decided we'll sound it here because I know the George Carlin version, there's a very long pause for 4 seconds.
Cheer up, smiled Edward. Sir Topham Hatt has
an uneven eyebrow job for Edward. Oh, and there's an uneven eye gap, too. Ooh, that right eye's got a bigger hole than the left. I went over this a couple days ago for pre-prep. Never saw this until now.
Work for you at his new harbour. I'm to take you to meet Thomas today. Ah, exclaimed Trevor happily.
Yeah, the only reason why he's excited, besides harbor work, he got his eyebrows back.
A harbour, the seaside, children, that will be lovely.
Yeah, the chuffing sound effect doesn't happen until a bit in. Keyword, it's actually in later than usual, so.
Thomas was on his way to the harbour with a trainload of metal
Wait, can we also see the end of the set? I think there's the end of the set, yeah.
Thomas was on his way to the harbour with a trainload of metal pilings. They were needed to make the harbour wall firm and safe.
You know what else needs to be needed? Fixing wonky eyes for Edward. And Thomas.
Hello, Thomas, said Edward. This is Trevor, a friend of mine. He's a traction engine. Thomas eyed the newcomer doubtfully. A what engine? He asked. A traction engine. Explain.
Wait, Thomas has never heard of a traction engine? And what does that make Terrence? Chopped liver? Ho!
Trevor, I run on roads instead of rails. Can you take me to the harbour, please? Sir Topham Hatt has a job for me. Yes, of course, replied Thomas, but he was still puzzled. Workmen coupled Trevor's car to Thomas's train, and
Oh yeah, I gotta track a couple more. Oh yeah, I forgot to track 3 more pauses. Whoops. One back in the transition between Edward and Trevor. There was a second one. And then there were 2 more in this scene. And then the other one, well, just before this. I know many of you are going to be are gonna be barking at me if I didn't catch those goofs for sure. Anyway, this next one's gonna be pretty bad. Anyway, this next goof is pretty bad. There's steam underneath the tracks. They usually do that to make the engines go, but they forgot to shut it off here.
I'm glad Sir Topham Hatt needs me, called Trevor. I don't have enough to do sometimes, you know. Although I can work anywhere. In orchards, on farms, in scrapyards, even at harbours. But you don't run on rails, puffed Thomas. I'm a traction engine. I don't need rails to be useful, replied Trevor. You wait and see. When they reached the harbour, they found everything in confusion. Cars had been derailed, blocking the line, and stone slabs lay everywhere.
Yeah. Now I can see how bad it is.
We must get these pilings past, said Thomas's driver.
Hello again, Thomas. Are we taking the plunge, I see? No. Yeah, he looks like he's about to take the plunge.
Trevor, they are essential. Trevor, we need you to drag them round this mess. Just the sort of job I like, replied Trevor. Now you'll see, Thomas. I'll soon show you what traction engines can do.
Yeah.
Trevor was as good as his word. He dragged the pilings clear with chains and towed them into position.
Unfortunately, they still didn't put any steam inside the traction engine. You had one job, folks!
Who needs rails? He muttered cheerfully to himself.
I mean, steam proves my point. There's no steam coming out.
Thomas brought Annie and Clarabelle to visit him. Thomas was most impressed. Now, I understand how useful a track...
Ugh, wonky eyes again. Also, the lampshade's pretty crooked. Also, we have a black speck on Thomas's face. And Thomas had no teeth. So I should count him the time before and the time earlier. Yeah, time earlier and the time now.
An engine can be. The coaches were full of children. Trevor gave them rides along the harbour. He liked this best of all. He's very kind, said Annie.
Wait a minute. Why is there steam coming from the coaches? I'm not kidding. I just noticed that now.
He reminds me of Thomas, added Clarabelle. Everyone was sorry when it was time for Trevor to go.
Wait a minute. Trevor's not even on the contraption. And right, I just noticed that. Look like we're on the urge of 30.
Thomas pulled him to the junction. A small tear came into Trevor's eye. Thomas pretended not to see. He whistled gaily to make Trevor happy.
Wow, eyes are still wonky. After that.
I'll come and see you if I can, he promised.
There's also 2 more goofs, apparently. I don't think we see a light in the lampshade in this scene. Actually, there's 3. They got a loose strip of the red lining on the bottom. And also, look at that driver. Can you say sticky tack, kids?
The vicar will look after you, and there's plenty of work for you now at the orchard. But we may need you again at the harbour someday.
Wait a minute. Guess it's not very clear, because, I mean, both eyes look unpainted, but then again... Oh, it's slightly wonky, but I'll let it slide.
Would be wonderful, said Trevor. That evening, Trevor stood remembering his new friend Thomas, the harbour, and most of all, the children. Then he went happily to sleep in the shed at the bottom of the orchard.
And that's the end of the story. If I missed any goofs, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Oh, don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed, and please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and turn on all post notifications so you won't miss a single upload. Anyway, this has been Eric Zuick signing off for now. And sorry I haven't told you this last week, and sorry I didn't say the usual last week, but yeah, it was a two-parter, so it was more to be continued. But now I can finally say, now I can finally say that I'll catch you guys at the next station. All aboard!